Hey guys, welcome back to another live stream. Today we are doing a very special members live stream. We've got Tom, Danny, aka Flash Freak, and Nathan Bell, aka the Blue Arrow, plus the actual green arrow on his shoulder. So yeah, welcome back. And today, obviously, this is a members live stream, so we're all going to be discussing our own topics. We're going to be talking about the latest Flash news, the latest Superman Lois news.
Cal wants to join.
And Cal wants to join as well. Okay. Cal can join. Of course, Cal, check the members chat and you can join. And so we're going to be discussing all of that in the live stream. And if you guys want to take part in the live stream, maybe a future members live stream, click the join button down below and you can become a member.
Have you done your quiz, Ben?
No. So today, actually, I think
I might have one in backup.
Okay.
Don't you dare, Tom.
Super dude, we are better.
I was thinking, I remembered that I actually forgot to do the quiz, and then I was like, okay, maybe we can just like do another members stream next week if we don't have a quiz.
I've got a backup one, but if you want to do one for the next one, and just say that we skipped.
It's up to you.
I don't know.
Up to you, Ben.
We'll think about it towards the end of the stream. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead. So I'm gonna pop you all off, and then I'm gonna bring in Danny, who's gonna be the first person. Also, supposedly Cal is gonna be joining, and maybe Kater will have to.
I have it ready, by the way. It is ready.
Cool. All right, see you in a second. All right, so just want to remind you guys that who are watching and tuning in live, please be sure to send in any super chats. If you want to support the channel and you want to be answered live on stream by me and the members, of course, we're all pretty knowledgeable. And so I think we can give you some good answers. And yeah, we'll pop you up on stream like this. Benjamin, going to use my theories here, potentially Flashverse. We are definitely talking about Eddie Thawne in this video because he's coming back. And obviously that's definitely on people's minds. So first things first, we're going to be heading into a little segment with Danny. Danny's going to be talking about the return of Eddie Thawne. That is the topic that he has chosen. And so I'm going to bring him on. But yeah, once again, now is the time to send in super chats if you want to support the channel, but also get your questions sent in, whether it's a theory, topic, or anything like that. Yeah, I appreciate your support. So for now, let's bring in Danny. So welcome, Danny.
Hello. And just to clarify, I think Keita is not here currently because he's looking at top 10. I think it was Elicity moments.
Oh, top 10 Elicity moments? Okay, that's pretty catered. Like, I understand that, you know. Anyway, at least we have you, you know, the #1 West Allen fan, Flash Freak. That is the reason, the origin story of your name, Flash Freak. You know, he just freaks out every time he sees West Allen. You know, how did you feel when you saw that behind this that photo that they released the other day? That is the question.
So I actually didn't see the photo. I just heard about it because I'm not subscribed to Kane US Patreon. But
oh, it wasn't a behind the scenes. It was just like a normal photo.
Oh, it was. Oh, I haven't seen it then. But
wait.
When I heard about it, I was super happy because for a while I wanted Cobalt Blue to return, and I wanted it to, or not return, but I wanted Cobalt Blue to show up as Eddie. Oh, we were talking about that photo. I thought we were talking about Eddie.
We're going to talk about Eddie in a minute, but
I mean,
#1 West Allen fan. Come on.
I mean, I know you probably like that, Ben, but I know Pagey's a pretty big West Allener too. So
yeah, oh, Pagey, yeah, you can't get him to stop talking about them. Anyway, let's talk about Cobalt Blue. So Cobalt Blue is returning. There is some photos. It doesn't really matter if you've seen the photos or not. I can tell you some other things about it because I've seen them. But yeah, overall, what do you think of Eddie Thawne returning?
So for the past couple years, I've really wanted Cobalt Blue, and I wanted it to be Eddie.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy. Ever since he died in season 1, I wanted him to come back. obviously we saw him. Obviously we saw him. At the end of season 1, he had like a, I don't know what you'd call it, a pendant on his necklace.
Yeah, like
And they zoomed in on it, which I found really odd.
I don't actually remember them doing that, but you keep talking. I'm gonna double check for me because it's just not coming back to me. Continue. Sorry.
So yeah, and when I don't really I don't really read comics, but I've heard and kind of got summaries on YouTube and stuff about Cobalt Blue comics. I didn't really like how it was like Barry's twin brother, and I don't think that would make sense in the show unless maybe I just came up with this. Maybe something with how we also saw Nora and Henry back on set, so maybe they are setting up a Malcolm Thon thing. I would rather it be Eddie because I feel like it's very easy to write. You just make him come back. And Barry's got Iris. He's got the perfect life. He's a superhero. He's got all the fame. But Eddie was the one who killed himself to save everyone in season 1. So,
yeah. I was just looking at the Eddie death, and I found a bit where it says at one point there was no necklace, but then a necklace appeared before he got sucked into the black hole. I don't know if that's like on purpose. That's probably just a mistake. But yeah, he has like a pendant. I don't know if it's of significance. But yeah, so basically what we can summarize from the photos, and I have to give a shout out to Flash first because he's the first person that actually made me aware of it. And that is that what we're seeing in the photos is Barry's parents back. That is definitely Barry's parents, 100%. You have Joe there, who is in police officer uniform, which obviously he isn't now. He's not the captain of the precinct or anything like that. And he wasn't captain, but anyway, he's just like a normal cop, right? And he's there with Captain Singh. Obviously, we don't know what he was back then, but this is at the time where Barry isn't even born yet. This is before Barry's birth. And so he's, or at least Barry's really young. I don't know the exact dates. This is just me talking here, but Barry's definitely time traveling because according to Cannagraphs, if you've read his blog, basically Barry pops out of nowhere and his parents, obviously they aren't alive in present day. They come over and they see to him, and Nora gets out like an old kind of flip phone or something. And she calls for help. So clearly it's time travel. And you
remember those flip phones, don't you, Ben?
Oh yeah, I'm hella old. Yeah, no, I'm joking. Of course I do. But the most important thing that Flash has pointed out is they are actually wearing the same clothes that Nora and Barry's dad wore on the night that they were killed. She was killed, sorry. And so could it be this is like the day of or like the day before? It very much so could be. And so is there a significant reason why they're back there? Well, probably. And obviously Barry's time traveled for a reason. We don't know what it is yet. But if we talk about Eddie wasn't a cop by this point. Eddie was much younger. Eddie was pretty new to being a cop over the last like year or so, before the Flash started. So this is when Barry was either a kid or before Barry was, well, I think Barry's a kid at this point. So Eddie would have been so much younger. So why is Eddie coming back like he was in season 1 and every time we've seen him? So what do you think of that?
Maybe he's going to kill Barry's parents.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because this Eddie is not normal Eddie, is what I'm getting at, right? It's surely Cobalt Blue.
Yeah. Now, if Barry's alive as a kid, then I don't know. But if he wasn't born at the time that Barry goes back and sees them, then Eddie could be killing his mom or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else that you kind of read into it? Into Eddie coming back?
Not really anything else. I'm interested to see. Obviously, it's probably going to connect to that blue crystal that we saw at the end of season 8, and
Yeah,
obviously that
I'll
was
read
in the
it.
future. So somehow the future would connect it. If Eddie really can, quote unquote, Eddie really can time travel,
Mhm.
then he could go to the future, get the powers, or maybe and then come back.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's lots of ways that it can go down. My brain's kind of, very much so. I feel like, yes, I'm quite confident with what I explained. Sorry if I didn't explain it that well. Tried my best. But yeah, definitely time travel, and I'm looking forward to time travel because obviously they teased that in the trailer for season 9, but they Iris is opposed to it. The kind of book. What's it called? Like a journal. And Barry seemingly has been going to the future and finding out things, which is obviously very against what has to stand for as a superhero, I guess. We have a super chat from Tom. Tom says, "Us knowledgeable? Are you sure?" I don't know what this was in reference to. Tom, explain.
It was at the start when you said, "Oh, we're all knowledgeable."
I said that?
Yeah, you went, "Come ask us, we're all knowledgeable." And I chuckled to myself because I was like, "Are we really knowledgeable?"
Well,
Like
we're definitely smart.
we struggle on each other's
Comment.
quizzes.
Okay, fair enough. Are we knowledgeable? We're not so sure. That is to be confirmed at a later date. Maybe when we're older. Older than 12.
I mean,
anyway.
I'm older than all of you.
That's true. Anyway, yeah, thanks, Tom. All right, let's. I'll keep you on, Tom, because you're next. Well, thank you very much, Danny. See you in a minute. All right, so once again, guys, just want to remind you who are watching in the live chat right now, if you want to send in any super chats for me and Tom to answer, obviously Tom is a Superman specialist. So if you have any Superman questions, we'll answer them. We can go that far, Tom. Okay, so Tom's topic is Lex Luthor. So Lex Luthor has been recast on Superman Lois for season 3. Let's talk about it. What do you think?
I like the casting because it's Abraham from The Walking Dead. By the way, I've actually got my full voice 100%, so I don't have to worry about choking or anything today.
That's good.
But yeah, it's a really solid casting. Like Abraham, when he's first introduced, he's an arsehole.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the way he could play Lex, could be that arsehole again. Like, we don't know what to expect. Is he going to be a violent Lex? Is he going to be a comical Lex? I mean, like Nathan was saying, he could be that Lex that takes on Superman, like full on fist in the face kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So this is him. For context, guys. This is Michael Cudlitz. He played. You said Abrams. I forgot his name.
Abraham, yeah.
Abraham on The Walking Dead. So
yeah, and he was proper brutal. Like you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him.
And do you think he's actually going to shave his head?
Yes.
Surely you kind of have to. I mean, he can keep the beard because John Cryer had a beard.
Cryer it's sad that John Cryer is gone as Lex.
Yeah,
he was one of my favorite Lex Luthors. To be fair, when I first heard about the casting, I was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure. But then when you saw him in action, you were just like, damn, son. You just like straight up like, this is amazing. Like,
yeah. John Cryer's Lex was one of my favorites too. Like, I think a lot of us were, or at least I was, a bit skeptical about getting a new Lex Luthor, especially after Batman vs Superman. I wasn't a big fan of
Jesse Eisenberg was just trash as Lex.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Jesse Eisenberg, so I was like, oh, are we not gonna have a good Lex? And then John Cryer came, and he actually like way surpassed my expectations. So yeah,
like
I'm sad that he's not coming back, but I guess he was in Supergirl a lot, to be fair. So it's not like we didn't have him enough.
Let's be honest, he's the first actor to play two different Luthers in Superman context, because he played Lenny Luthor and then Lex Luthor.
Yeah, so it's
Which
in
was-
the legacy.
that's
Well,
incredible.
Supergirl likes to cast by legacy, don't they?
That was incredible. The fact that he played Lenny in one of the past Superman films and just randomly Lex Luthor. And I'm like, how? Like that?
It's not random. It's not random.
No, but at the time it seemed random. Like
hmm
we all forgot. Like, oh yeah, he was Lenny Luthor. And you're like,
Mhm.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But we knew he was gonna be. We knew he was gonna be relatively funny because he was working on 2.5 Men.
Oh, he's so good in 2.5 Men. He's hilarious.
But literally, you wouldn't expect him to be that good
hmm
because it's just straight up
like, for instance, in 2.5 Men, he is very innocent. He's very funny. He's very clumsy. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and
not
then-
something you expect for Lex Luthor, right?
yeah, and then literally on Supergirl, as brutal as you like, kills off a Superman. I'm like, did that happen?
Yeah, well, that proves, if an actor's good, they can play any kind of role. And so let's hope with Michael Cudlitz, he can kind of live up to what John Cryer did on Supergirl. Obviously, with Superman Lois, they definitely have the potential to go darker. That's definitely a high possibility. We don't know what type of role he's going to play in this season. If he's going to be like, a big bad in like the second part of the season, or is he just going to be like a recurring character, or
So-
just show up once? I mean, with this big casting, you can infer probably going to be in more than just one episode, right?
Yeah, there is one other casting that I'd quite like to see alongside Lex, and that's Mercy Graves, like a new Mercy Graves.
Mercy Graves on Supergirl wasn't very good.
No, because you
Really?
can't have Lex without Mercy,
It's
because
true.
Mercy is Lex's right hand woman. So if you're gonna have Michael Cudlitz as Lex, you've got to have someone equally big name as Mercy, because
Yeah.
it's got to go. It's got to balance, sort of.
However, you have to remember that this this Lex obviously has gone through a lot, and he's just resurfacing. Do you think he's still going to have her by his side after all those years?
In theory, yes, but I guess we're gonna have to wait until it airs to find out, because it's alright speculating about it, but we're not entirely sure.
hmm
Like, I'm interested to see how they're gonna play it, but again, is the CW? It's in your hands. Let's see what you do with this. Like,
Yeah.
let's see if you can make it good.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Well, at least they have had a good Lex in the past on the CW, so I wouldn't put it past them.
And they've cast another good one.
And they've cast a very good actor,
Yeah.
so I don't see a reason to doubt them
No.
as of right now. And so, yeah, I think this is a good thing. What do you guys who are watching in the chat think about the casting of Michael Cudlitz as Lex Luthor? Please let us know. Will Ishwald actually says John Cryer was a great Lex, in my opinion. We both agree with you.
He was one of the best. I'd say the only one that beats him is Michael Rosenbaum.
Well, I haven't watched enough Smallville to judge, but I know, according to everyone,
Gene Hackman was quite good in the original
he
Superman film.
was. Yeah, he was good. He was good Lex.
Kevin Spacey was menacing, but I just didn't feel like he put enough into it in Superman Returns.
No, he wasn't good enough.
He was. He had the menacing part. He just didn't have like the aloof of Lex.
Also, Robert Blake. Shout out to Robert. He's a member. Robert says the casting description said this version of Lex will be more vicious than anything. How do you think they'll take that in the show? Well, we said he has the potential to go darker because Superman Lois generally is a bit darker than, say, Supergirl. So going more vicious, I presume it's just like he He doesn't take no for an answer, and he's, the reason he's back, he's been hiding for like years. He's been, on the down low or whatever you can call it, and he's come back with a vengeance. He is going for Lois and Superman.
I'm going to make a prediction. We're going to see Connor Kent, the clone. I reckon we'll see the. I reckon we'll see the clone.
Actually created like Superboy.
It could be, because you think about it. Like, if he's as vicious as they say, and he wants to match Superman, what better way than to clone him and use his DNA, as we know with Connor and Titans, which is sadly ending.
Yeah.
Why not in theory introduce Connor and say we're gonna have Connor beat the shit out of Superman and then reveal it's his clone?
I actually really like that theory. I think you actually might be onto what they could be doing, if I'm being honest. Like, that's actually a really good theory. It could happen this season. It might happen next season. It might just introduce the idea. Maybe a good cliffhanger.
Willis has just said maybe that's why Lex has been away for so long.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what you're actually saying actually makes complete sense, because what is his reason to hide? Like, he didn't have to wait 3 years. He could have waited 6 months, come out, gone after them, right? So if they actually go into the reasoning behind him not resurfacing for a long time, that would make a lot of sense. I really like that, Tom.
I genuinely think that this season is going to be the season that defines whether it gets cancelled or renewed.
Yeah, if it's good enough, exciting enough, if the story is good enough, and I think introducing the concept of like Connor Kent, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are very familiar with. If you're a Titans fan, if you read the comics, Young Justice did a huge Superboy storyline with Lex and him, and his origins, because obviously in the comics normally that version of Superboy is created by Lex. It has Superman's DNA and also Lex Luthor's DNA.
Because I don't see Jordan taking the name Superboy.
You don't think so?
I really don't.
Fair enough.
Because I reckon they'll give him his own code name, but I just don't. The way that
Lad,
possibly, like, Super Lad is an actual character in the comics.
Yeah.
But now that they've announced that Lex is coming back, I just don't see them giving Jordan Superboy. I really don't.
That's fair enough. Like,
what do you reckon, Paigey? Because I can see you lurking in the chat.
Is Paigey in the chat?
Yeah. What do you reckon, Paigey? Are we on? Do you reckon we're onto it?
Nah, he can't reply. He can't reply. We don't care. No, I'm joking. I think the theory is really good. Like, honestly.
But I don't know. I just thinking about it. It was literally just like they've cast a massive guy, like massive bulky guy who can take a punch and everything. So why not have it so that he fights Superman at his own game and make a clone?
Yeah, exactly, and that's going up to Superman's standard in terms of actually fighting. And if he has like a clone who is as strong as Superman, it's on his side. Like, Lex doesn't need to be the one physically fighting. As long as he's in control, he's happy, right? Anyway, oh my god. Flash Freak says Paigey looks like Dr. Disrespect mixed with Andrew Tate. That is harsh. Oh my god. Paigey, trim that beard, boy. I'm joking. I'm sorry for the slander.
I mean, that was just.
That was harsh, Flash Freak. Not gonna lie, but
I really don't know how to react to that.
Let's move on. Let's do that.
Let's bring on the Blue Archer.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna bring on the Blue Archer. Thank you very much, Tom. I'll see you in a minute. All right, so I just want to remind you guys, if you do want to support the channel and get any questions or topics or theories answered throughout this live stream, please be sure to send in super chats. You can do that by clicking the $ underneath the chat function. That is the best way to support the channel during the live streams. And obviously we have our members here and we're going to all answer it together. So yeah. For now, I'm going to bring in Nathan, aka the Blue Archer, plus the Green Arrow by his side. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the Flash once again, specifically to do with a cobalt blue theory that Nathan has. So welcome,
Hello.
Nathan.
I've gotten rid of the blue shirt, so I'm no longer the Blue Arrow.
He's the gray arrow now. But yeah, can you talk a bit about your cobalt blue theory that you had?
Yeah, so actually I've got like 3 different things to add on to other people's what other people have been saying.
Yeah, let's do
that. So my theory is that Grey Goblin, really? Sorry, what Tom just said in the chat. So I think that along with what Danny said in the episode with the time traveling, I think that it will be before. It's hard to describe it now. How do I describe it? I think there'll be 3 different locations, or maybe more, where Barry's going to go to, and because I think it's gonna. One of them is going to be obviously the day of Nora's murder, as you've said, that they're wearing the same clothes as the day that Nora dies. But I think there's going to be maybe a few scenes where Barry is going to be time traveling to before he is born. Not directly before he's born, like say maybe a few months.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough.
And I think that Barry is going to find out that he is a twin.
And that's where your kind of cobalt blue comes in.
Exactly.
Right.
So you
Malcolm Thorne.
Yeah. Or... So basically, Barry will find out that he's a twin, and he's going to time travel to the day of either of the birth or sometime after to find out if it's true. I don't know whether, I mean, this could be all load of rubbish, but because we've seen with Eddie in the past that he and Barry have always been at odds, and I think that
and he took his go.
Exactly, he took his go. Exactly, he was the brother who didn't get the things he wanted. He didn't get the powers. He didn't get. Well, he lost the girl,
and he took his wife.
Exactly, he literally took everything from him. So
you took my powers, you took my speed, you took my wife. No, I killed the kid. That's literally what's going on. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I could actually imagine him saying that.
Yeah, just like a Savitar speech. You took everything from me. You took my wife. Anyway. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry for the interruption by me.
That was a good Savitar impression, by the way.
Thank you. I've been practicing for years.
I think that Oh God! Don't tell me I'm actually got the name Grey Goblin now. Jesus Christ. So you've really put me
I
off.
don't know what we were talking about, to be fair.
So so in the comics, I'm gonna change the subject swiftly.
Yeah.
In the comics, Malcolm Thorne is born from Nora and Henry. But obviously the sad part is the Thorns were also having a baby that exact same day.
And they were switched at birth.
Yeah, because the doctor was drunk. The doctor was drunk, and I think the baby died because of it. So
and basically that's where you get the kind of twins.
Yeah, that's basically so. Because of that happens, that doctor then gave the Thorns one of the twins, and basically told Nora and Henry that they lost one of them.
Yeah.
And
basically did a switcheroo, just like
literally did a switcheroo. They said that the baby was stillborn and they couldn't save it, but in reality it became Malcolm Thorne,
because he was taken in by the Thorns.
So I think a similar thing might have happened in Earth Prime's history. I think that because obviously in present day we know that Earth Prime Eddie still died, because Nora and Bart said it when they were going through the history books. They said that Eddie killed himself to save Team Flash. So we know that he does still die. But I think that the crystal has saved him, has saved his, I suppose, essence or life force. And I think that he will come back, but he will be more darker, more vengeful. He'll be very Savitar like, but he's gonna want to have a massive revenge plan.
He's gonna be plotting stuff like from the very beginning.
Massively. He's gonna be
scheming.
So I think Edgy Thorne. Oh my god. I think that basically when Barry time travels to the day, or somehow he's stolen the crystal from the future and knows that it's something to do with, maybe it's something to do with Red Death or Cobalt Blue, and he's stolen it in order to figure out what the hell's going on. But while time traveling back to the present, he ends up a few months before him and Eddie are born. And because I remember you saying, I made a point of saying it in the chat, in the comments of your last video, that a crystal was found on the street and Joe picked it up. And I think he's going to give it to Nora and Henry as a gift as like pregnancy gifts. So when the babies are born.
Sorry, you keep saying, is it tomorrow you were talking about going to Coyotes?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So I'll have to get myself.
I can do your food.
We've got an interruption, but it's okay. Yeah. Fun times. No, I think everything to do with Thorne, personally, like, I think Eddie is coming back and he's going to be the villain. That's pretty much what I can summarize. Obviously, Nathan's going to continue with his point in a minute, but I'm just taking over for a second. So yeah, definitely coming back somehow back with Barry, and it's definitely going to be really interesting.
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
So-
Continue. Where were you at? If you remember.
Let's see. Yes, the crystal. So I think Joe will give it to Henry and Nora
Mhm.
as a pregnancy gift. And when
Have we seen the crystal before? Because I don't remember.
only the crystal that was in the last series in the future, that
Okay.
crystal, the blue crystal.
Mhm.
So
At the end of the season, you mean?
but even though it seems quite big, I
Yeah.
think it could maybe it's a chunk of it or something. And or Barry takes like he's vibrated his hand and cut it like a little snippet off just to see what it is. And obviously he's dropped it and
Mhm.
God, I feel like I'm really messing up tonight. My brain is so
It's okay. I'm tired too. Like,
so Barry will drop it and Joe will pick it up. Maybe Barry does vanish or something, or he does a Back to the Future and ends up being nursed by Nora. Oof, awkward.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. Like, yeah, they're gonna totally Back to the Future it.
Oh
Like,
God,
he's gonna wake up and, well, he's knocked out on the street. They call for help. Barry wakes up in his childhood home. His mum and dad are there, like looking after him, just like in Back to the Future when obviously Marty goes back and he's with his parents. So,
do you
yeah.
think that's gonna be a massive reference to Back to the Future?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be. Like, now you say it, 100%. That's what's gonna happen in that episode.
Because there was even a car there as well.
Yeah.
In that scene, so there was a car there as well.
But it's not a DeLorean. Oh well.
No. I mean, because Marty was hit by a car, wasn't he? When he fell out the tree and then was knocked over. So there's literally a car behind where Barry is. So I hope he doesn't do a full. Oh God, yeah, it probably is something Back to the Future. Oh God.
Yeah, but at least in this case, it's not going to be weird because Barry's dad is there as well, and in the case of Back to the Future, he goes back to when his mum's like a teenager. So
yeah. Let's hope it doesn't go too far with that.
I was looking back at the blog post, and I couldn't find any photos of the crystal. I think that was just mentioned. Maybe there. So we don't have any visual confirmation.
Wasn't it Candegraft who said he was picking something up?
Yeah, he was picking something up for sure, but we don't. I don't know what it looks like. I need to check with Candegraft.
So either it will be
like it.
Maybe it was a flash ring. Who knows? The crystal was in the last picture of the first. Oh, hey, the crystal was in the last picture on the first set, according to. It's in Joe's hand.
Oh, it's blue.
Bingo.
Look, I'll share the screen.
How big is the crystal?
It's
Can you see it?
It's very similar. Look, it's long. Bingo.
Yes, I think my theory might be right.
There you go. I think it's right.
Look how I mean they made. Obviously, they don't look younger because it's like. But if this is true, then my theory could be true.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he gives it as a present to Henry and Nora, and when, because that's the exact same.
That's exactly the same.
So I think. Okay, now I'm definitely sure now. So Barry steals it either from the future, maybe he steals it from 2049.
Somehow it ends up on this crime scene, right?
Well, I think if maybe Barry isn't in control completely when he's time traveling. So what if, like when he sees his parents, he goes into this crime scene and drops the crystal, and then speeds
and
off.
he's like knocked out. You know, when
Yeah.
he arrives with his parents, like just
So
randomly.
when Joe finds the crystal, he doesn't know what it is, but he thinks it's very pretty, so he'll give it to Nora as a present, as a pregnancy gift.
Yeah, maybe as a gift. However, it could be evidence about whatever's going on because he is on detective business, or police business with Singh. So maybe it is like a calling card. Could it be for like Cobalt Blue? Is that another option?
If
I don't know.
I wouldn't say calling card because Cobalt
Mm.
Blue needs the crystal in order to have his speed.
So do you think he loses it whilst chasing Barry back in time? And
Possibly.
I don't know.
I mean, if it in a way, it could be a very strange time loop thing where, you know, he drops it in the past and he gets given it in, or something along that line. It all made so much sense a minute ago.
Yeah. Anyway, we can summarize it later. Maybe we can even like think about how to actually make a video. Maybe we make a video on it, and obviously
that is definitely the same crystal.
Yeah, like it's definitely the same crystal. So somehow it got there. It's linked to definitely what's going on with the return of Rick Hosnet. We know that. Like it's not a coincidence that we thought this was Cobalt Blue and he's back and he's not supposed to be here. He's supposed to be way younger, like a similar age to Barry. I don't know in the show what's the age difference, but could be.
That's what I was thinking because
like
I don't think they're that far apart in age.
I think maybe he was supposed to be like a couple years older than Barry.
Because if my theory, if they are twins, I mean, obviously they're not identical twins. They are, whatever the name is of it, being separate, not, and you don't look the same. So I mean, if anything, I mean, there could be a few days apart.
It could be.
So
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. All right, I'm gonna move on because we have a super chat from Our Watch. Thank you very much, Our Watch, for sending in the super chat. Thoughts on the tragic Black Adam Oscar snub? What's the snub? So yeah, I don't know if you guys are up to date, but I am very much so into the Oscars. It's my favorite day of the year. I always get super excited. I've seen most of the films. And I don't think anyone was expecting Black Adam to get like any kind of visual effects nomination or anything because there was a lot of competition this year. Like the Batman got in, Black Panther got visual effects, but I don't think there was any kind of expectation. What do you think, Nathan? Do you think?
To be honest, I'm not even. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not into.
It's just the film award show at the end of the year that celebrates the best films of every year. Basically, the Oscars. You know the Oscars, right?
I know the Oscars, but I haven't even seen Black Adam yet, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, anyway, it's Black Adam. I really liked. I thought it was a really good film. I'm on the cover. Let me find it. Shout out.
You're so proud of that, aren't you?
Yeah.
You are so proud of it. Bless you.
Look, guys, this is the Black Adam DVD. And the DCTV show is here. I know it's flipped, but still. There you go, guys. Go get the Black Adam DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. I'm on all of them. If you're in the UK, I don't think it's on the American one, but UK, go get it. Black Adam. There you go. Anyway, just shouting out. But yeah, thank you for the super chat, Our Watch. I appreciate it. That's my answer to your Black Adam question.
Oh,
okay.
Can I just say one more little theory?
Mhm.
Hopefully, it doesn't delay anything else. Have we got time?
Yeah.
So, I think I sent this to you. So you probably know what this is. So I think the reason that Barry creates the map book. I'm trying to say that right. I've been saying matchbook for the last 2 weeks.
That book, yeah.
I think the reason he creates it is because he's suffering with PTSD from when he killed Iris. Obviously, we saw so much anger after he killed her. I don't think he really processed what happened, so he didn't grieve much. It was just full anger. So I think because we see him wake up from a dream in the trailer, don't we?
Yeah, he's definitely anxious. Probably with Red Death going rampant, he's definitely
Exactly.
more scared than ever.
So I think that with his PTSD, I think he then wants to protect Iris. So what he's been doing is he's been using speed thinking to predict all possible futures. I don't think he's time traveling to do each one of these events. His speed thinking in the comics, he can predict a lot of futures, even years into the future. So I think he's been using a device that they created quite a while ago, actually, that they used for Chester. They were using it so Barry could put his consciousness into the Speed Force, and I think he's going to use that secretly behind everyone's backs, so he can predict the possible futures, so he can predict how to fight them. And obviously he finds out about Iris's pregnancy and all that stuff. But I think he'll find out about the villains, and then he'll know how to defeat them. But something's changed, so he's completely outmatched. So he thinks Red Death wants a time machine. That was one of the things. Like, why would Red Death want a time machine? I don't think that is actually what he wants. I think it's Cobalt Blue who wants a time machine.
You think it's all linked together?
I think that it's...
Oh, freaking hell. That's a good one, mate. Like, he literally is back in time.
Exactly.
Are they working together? Red Death and Cobalt Blue. That would be insane. That would
be a big twist.
Whoa, that's great. That's video worthy, man. I'm writing it down. Jesus Christ. You guys are good today. The Connor Kent stuff with Calm. Oh. Anyway, continue with what you were saying there. So you think the time machine thing is linked to Cobalt Blue?
I think so. Right now, I think when Barry predicts the map book, I think he sees Red Death, and he wants a time machine. But I think that he got it wrong. I don't think it's Red Death who wants a time machine. It's Cobalt Blue. He wants to build a time machine. And obviously, if it's Eddie, he'll be going back in time to either kill Barry or whatever. Or it'll be something else. So I think Red Death's plan is a little bit more mysterious. I don't think Red Death wants a time machine. I think it's Cobalt Blue who does. And because he's using speed thinking, he can't narrow it down. So he thinks, Red Death wants a time machine. Got ya. Or Speedster wants a time machine. So he writes it down. Iris is going to get pregnant in 3 months. But it's wrong. I think it'll be 1 month. I don't think it'll be 3 months.
Yeah.
I think it'll be 1 month.
Do you think basically everything he's thinking about is kind of right, but it's like there's something about it that's wrong?
It's basically like when you're trying to predict the future, you want it to be so. Once you get a little glimpse of it, you think, oh, so this must be right. But obviously, the future can change. So, or the future is how like liquid. You can't
Yeah.
see all the way through it. And by the way, that's the 4th yawn, by the way. I
There
have
you
been
go.
counting.
I thought I got you. Well,
Mind you, 3 of them was while I was talking, so I was trying not to take offense.
no offense. It's late. 11:30 for all of us. You should be yawning too. What are you doing?
Oh well, I'm drinking alcohol.
Okay, fair enough. I'm drinking water. I guess that's fine.
I think that because it's speed thinking, so he's not time traveling to get the exact event. So he's just gonna see images and think. So a speedster is going to want a time machine. So the first speedster that comes along, which will be probably Red Death, he'll think Red Death wants a time machine, but it will be wrong. In the second half, it will be like Cobalt Blue, and he wants a time machine. So it's kind of like Chinese whispers in a way. You'll think one thing, but it's actually the other. If there's two speedsters, then you don't know which one wants the time machine or which one just wants to kill whoever. So I mean, that's the thing. I think obviously anything that he predicts, it will be a little bit off. So Iris's pregnancy, it may not even be 3 months. It could be 1 month. It could even be a year.
It could be longer. Yeah.
Exactly. So speed thinking isn't. I saw that.
Yeah.
So speed thinking isn't as accurate as actually time traveling.
Of course.
So
also time traveling to the future, you're going to a potential future. You're not going to a set future. So even time travel is not concrete.
No, it's not concrete at all. Like, I mean, to quote Rip Hunter, you have it. The future takes time to
settle, to set.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why they've always managed to change the
it's
future.
Like cement. You can move it before and reshape it before it sets.
Exactly.
But once it's set, you can crack it, but you can't.
Yeah, and that's where you get a flashpoint when you try and change something.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna add Cal into the stream. Welcome, Cal, another member of the channel. We haven't seen you in a while.
Hello.
How are you, Cal?
Good.
Nice. We're gonna move on to our final topic. So, Cal, you can join us with this one. We're gonna add everyone back in. So Tom's here, Danny's here, plus Nathan and Cal. And so Cal's gonna go first. And so we're gonna be talking about the Flash synopsis, and I'm going to read it out to everyone. It's the new episode 2 synopsis for season 9. I don't know if any of you guys have read it. Have you?
I have, and I know Kindergraphs is so happy at one of the moments in the description, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay, I'm going to read it out, and then I'm going to ask you, Cal, what's your first thoughts on a certain thing. Okay, so the episode 2 title is Hear No Evil, and this is obviously the second episode of the season. It says, new kid in town. Barry feels guilty for what happened to Caitlin, and Mark comes up with a plan which makes everyone skeptical. Meanwhile, Red Death looms in Central City and commands that failure is not an option. Commands, that's important, right? Joe asks the Seal to make a choice which leads the Seal to think about the greater good.
Oh,
Seal being hero again. Allegra and Testa take a step in a new direction. Chegra action.
Chegra.
And then lastly, old friends pay an unexpected visit to Star Labs. So, Cal, I mean, you can talk about any point. What's your thoughts?
So I think with the Hester and Allegra, I think Chegra is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, Cal is a Chegra fan confirmed. Hashtag confirmed, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's totally happening. Like, I don't know. Obviously, it's a meme, but like, wouldn't it be so funny if they actually went through with it, like, properly? Like, Chegra wedding, Chegra baby.
Oh
That's what
god.
I said.
Episode
That's what
2.
Kindergraft wants. He said it before. He wants to
They're
take
taking
a wedding.
us in a new direction. We know what direction that is. Yeah. Anyway, so let's bring in everyone else. So, what do you guys think about specifically Red Death? So it says Red Death looms in Central City. So they straight up saying Red Death is going to be in this episode. He's going to be big in this episode. He's going to be looming over Central City, and he commands that failure is not an option. So from that and what we know already, he's in charge of a part of the Rogues for sure.
I wanna throw it out there and say that we can't really mention the gender right now because we don't know who the speedster is. So can we refer to them as they?
That's true. However, we do know who's under the mask.
Yes.
Or do we?
Or do we? Oh, maybe there's a.
Maybe it's Ben.
Or
It's
maybe
actually
Ben,
Maybe
Jenna.
it's Paige.
Piece of face Javicia Leslie.
It's the Grey Goblin.
Oh. So what do you guys think about the Red Death part of this synopsis?
Well, it definitely proved that it kind of helps with my theory with Red Death, doesn't it? If he comes in this early, I mean, that kind of boosts my theory.
Yeah, he's coming in very early.
Yeah. Very early.
I mean, it's nearly as close as Zoom. I mean, Zoom came in very early, didn't he? He came in every. Oh
How did
wait,
we-
yeah.
I forgot
He came in
how
episode
season 2
2.
started. Yeah, he was pretty quick as well. Obviously, they have less episodes this season, so they do have to bring in their first main villain. But like you said, Nathan, there might be a link between Red Death and Cobalt Blue if they want to make the story kind of flow. So I guess you could look at season 3 and think maybe it's going to be a Dr. Alchemy Savitar situation. Remember, for a while, people forgot that Savitar was coming, and it was Dr. Alchemy, and then there was that link where Savitar first showed up because of the cult, and yeah. Okay, we have a super chat in the live chat. This is from Owlwatch. Thank you very much for the $9.99 super chat, Owlwatch. We're going to answer this all together. So, predictions on the James Gunn announcement. I'm excited and also nervous. How's your film going? The film is going. I haven't shot it yet, but I will update you guys. But in regards to James Gunn and the DCEU, this big announcement is supposed to come sometime soon. I don't know when or if there's been an update. But are you excited for the future of DC films, DC Studios, guys? Or
Yeah,
I'm yes. Yeah.
a little bit nervous about it, but I'm willing to give it a try.
Yeah, and Cal, are you excited?
I am. Yeah. I am very interesting to see what comes next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what about you, Tom? Are you excited for
yeah.
the Superman film that James Gunn's got coming? Or are you still salty about Henry Cavill?
I'm not. I'm quite. I'm genuinely interested to see what happens next.
Fair enough. Me too.
Also,
Yeah.
in response to your question about how early does Zoom appear, he appears in season 2, episode 1.
Oh, what was his?
Oh
first
yeah, in the
appearance?
flashback. He appears in the flashback, doesn't he?
Was it to do with Jay Garrick or what?
Yeah, it was a flashback of Jay
Back on Earth
fighting.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I think that's it. So what? Flash Freak, Danny, what do you think of the James Gunn announcement?
I'm very eager to see what phase 1 is, or however he's gonna announce it. The start of the slate.
Mhm.
It's I'm He's been teasing it for a while to be this month. I could see it like being on like the last day of the month at like
Yeah.
11:59 before it turns into February.
Just
And now him just
roll it,
putting it
yeah.
out. Because he's been kind of like teasing us with it.
Ever since he joined, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
I mean,
yeah.
it would be nice to have a full slate of ideas, but I don't think we're going to get the whole picture. I think he's just going to tell us a little bit. But yeah, thanks for the super chat. I'll watch. Really appreciate it. Hopefully, we've answered your question. Good.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think Barry feels guilty about what's happened to Caitlin?
Yeah, I have no idea. So something clearly has gone down in episode 1. And then in episode 2, Barry somehow feels guilty for what happened to Caitlin. And Mark comes up with some sort of plan that makes everyone skeptical. I don't know if it's probably a risky plan. Probably had something to do with Caitlin.
Wasn't it Mark's plan? Wasn't it Mark's plan to do the whole pod thing in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. And now we know from the trailer they moved her pod to Star Labs. It's in the Speed Lab, and I guess maybe it has something to do with all of that. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but what do you guys think of Cecile thinking about the greater good? Is she going to suit up again?
Oh,
She's gonna become the psycho pirate.
yes.
If she becomes the psycho pirate as a villain, then I'm up for it. But I don't want to go around in a freaking Power Rangers suit fighting crime. Okay, we've got enough
just
heroes.
shows up and she's like,
No.
Okay, to be fair, because I was rewatching the clip the other day, in the reverse flashpoint, she used a psycho pirate helmet mask to boost her powers. That made her look quite cool.
yeah,
but
otherwise she's pretty much just watched too many X-Men films.
Exactly. You can just hear the theme song every time she uses her powers.
Look at what Maya said in the chat. I'm not going to read it out on the live stream, but because it's pretty peak, but still. And who do we think is the old friend who, yeah, kind of peak. Who do we think the old friends who are paying an unexpected visit to Star Labs is in this episode? This is episode 2. It's not Oliver, guys.
Is it the Grey Goblin and Nightwing?
It's Nathan himself.
And you.
Flash Reek, do you have any theory, Danny?
On what?
On who is returning in this episode, the old friends.
It's probably just Hartley and the Hotness. However, it could. We know it's not Oliver or Diggle or anything because they're not till later episodes.
But would you call them old friends though? That's the thing. I don't think.
Is it Goldface?
True.
Well,
guess but the synopsis could just be like leading us on. So
okay.
Yeah.
So if they're leading us on to think that it's some sort of crossover, you know, like Batwoman showing up, we know she's showing up, but probably not in episode 2. I think you might be on something. I think they are leading us on.
What if old friends means old enemies?
No, yeah, it could be like old acquaintances. You know,
exactly. And isn't it
Goldface, the Hotness, Pied Piper?
Isn't it episode 2 that we see Captain Boomerang?
Is it episode 1 or 2? I don't know. I think they're in multiple episodes, to be honest. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. So, any other final kind of things you guys want to bring up in regards to this episode 2, this synopsis? Or
I do have a joke to make, and it's not related to the Flash.
Oh,
what's
God.
the joke, Tom? We can end on a joke.
How many different identities has Nathan had over the past couple streams? He's had the Grey Goblin, the Blue Archer, and now and then the Green Arrow. What the hell?
Yeah.
How many different identities, man?
Yeah.
He's just a mysterious man. That's all. That's all we can
Well,
say.
hey, you haven't seen how many I have online yet.
Oh no, you got to include the one in Discord as well. Iron Archer.
Stop
We're
calling out all my names.
What are you trying to be? Iron Man and Green Arrow put together.
Actually, that Iron Archer was actually a hero I put together many years ago. It was a Iron Man armor which shoots out crossbows and.
So it's a love child between Iron Man and Green Arrow.
Please never say that.
Well, anyway, so that pretty much does it for this live stream. We're gonna skip the quiz today because it's nearly midnight in the UK.
We're
All of
going
us
out
are
on Ben's
asleep.
wings as he's
And-
Nightwing.
Yeah, Ben, you can't go past your bedtime.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime,
You're only
guys.
12.
Okay, leave me alone.
He's running away.
Just flying away. Good night. Good night.
Oh, don't take the P. Rosie's getting offended.
Oh yeah, sorry, Rosie. But we'll be sure to do the quiz next time we stream. So yeah, for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to Our Watch and Tom and everyone who has supported throughout the stream and has been watching throughout. It's been a good one. And yeah, we'll see you soon for on Thursday, normal live stream, and then we'll have another member stream sometime very, very soon. So for now, yeah. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.